I needed it.
Note to self in future games: make Murray do speed runs through the game before anyone else gets to play it.
So
That'll convince him to make it easier.
for this part here, it's a synthesis room, right? So we have the fishing rod. I threw a portrait, cheated, but the fishing rod lets you into the vent. Water lets you climb the vent, and you're supposed to use the flint more often than most people probably did to light your way through this area. Um,
And
and
or to light yourself on fire by accident, which
no,
is
I
usually
like.
how I ended up using the flint.
Well, I mean, that's the only reliable way to find ground. Is just light your feet. And
I
this,
think you should have to go through the rest of the vent with yourself on fire. I think that would replicate my experience of this vent much more accurately.
I think that one section right there was probably the hardest section to figure out. That one I just did, because that one was the
Hmm.
darkest area of this area. And we added the light source from the outside because otherwise the only time that Scott could do this was when it's daytime outside. So we put some light sources here to flow in.
Yeah. Well, I think you put like one light source, and I just made the whole doorway that way.
Yeah, I think you did the whole doorway like that.
Yeah. Put it this way: after the 10th time going through that vent, I was getting pretty frustrated with the stupid thing.
It'll save your
But
life
yeah.
someday, dude, that skill. And so this is the opening shot of the trailer, and I really love the music that I ended up picking for. I had basically the entire trailer in mind after I selected a song, and once we got permission for the song from the artist, we went ahead with it. And it's really nice because the start of the song has this wind blowing, and you're exiting to the outside for the first time, and you just see everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I really liked in EC2 that you did get out and you were able to see the rest of the game
right, and
and to
this
see
was
what
our
all went
point
into
here
it.
where we allow people to see the area. And there's the little
Yeah.
hellhole that you made. And I told you to wall it off because some people did somehow magically ended up there. I have no idea how they got there, but people told me that they managed to get there.
Yeah, well, they're welcome to skip a little bit if they can use that portal to get anywhere useful.
Yeah, we
But you can also see the scale of the reactor room from here, which I
yeah, it's
liked the
massive.
positioning of
We
that.
probably just climbed up this, you know.
Even in MCEdit, that took a long time because it's a huge circular space, and there's no, you know, there's just no easy way to do it, even with the cloning tools. That took me several hours of just to make the outside shell and to get it exactly right and have all the entrances be in the right place. And yeah, that room was intense.
So here we were thinking about how we wanted to guide the player after this. Originally, the outside wasn't supposed to be lava filled. We filled it with lava to prevent the mob cap from getting too high and to deter the player from trying to leave this area anywhere we didn't want them to leave. And so there is the water flow here, which lets them jump, and of course the trailer teaches the player that they're supposed to jump. We've actually put quite a few hints in the trailer on how to solve the game. Uh,
And originally in this area, the oh hey daybreak. Originally, this ceiling when you sent it to me had no lightstone on top either, and so
right,
we created the lightstone kind of indicating a direction for you.
right.
Subtle hints, but
The
ones that
airplane
most of the
runway.
testers see. Yeah, most of the testers were able to figure out, where they were supposed to go, or at least the initial direction to look from that. But we wanted to stop short of just giving you an arrow pointing in the freaking direction
Yeah,
that you
we
go. Because
almost
that
did
kind of
just draw an
that
arrow.
ruins the yeah but we just didn't want to ruin the challenge. Again, the whole point of this is supposed to be, and these are areas that you were never intended to go to.
Right,
The answer is not supposed to be in any way obvious. So
exactly. And an example why I didn't do the writing here, I originally wanted to put a little smoking 10 meters away from the entrance. If you don't have smokes, you can ask Bob. You can buy some from Bob. And Bob came up a lot when I was proposing different writing ideas. All right, I'm
you
going
were
to do the
pretty
joke.
fixated on Bob, and
Yeah,
that's
some fictional employee named Bob who works for Hero Brian. All right, I'm going to do the
all right.
jump.
We're gonna take the jump.
I'm going to jump. I'm doing it. You can't stop me, man. Oh, God. Oh. Would have been embarrassing if I died right there and I just missed the waterfall.
It would be pretty embarrassing, I think. Yeah, and originally the water didn't look nearly as striking, but I think adding the lava at the base really kind of made that a much more aesthetically pleasing experience.
Hmm. And so this area here, I actually, you know how MCEdit, they have the brush, and the brush always starts off at the 3 point, and you
Yeah.
always have to change it to 1 so you can actually make the thing you wanted to make. This is the
Oh
first
yeah.
time I actually used the brush with more than one. These are the 3 points, and I just clicked randomly to make these. And I think some of them were 4 and 5s, and I just clicked randomly so they made these little blobs of ammonite around here.
Yeah. Again, advice to anyone else looking to make maps: the greatest skill you can have is just knowledge of MCEdit. It will make your life so much easier,
So,
and makes the
yep.
potential games that you can make out of it so much more impressive as well.
And so here, after you exit the vent room and make the jump down, and obviously the water there was because you blew up the reactor. And these rooms are destroyed because you blew up the reactor. This was supposed to be the stables where they kept some of the barn animals. And I wanted to have this little point more to this fertilizer dispenser and say something like, I don't know, don't leave your horses by the fertilizer dispenser. If you don't have horses, you can buy one from Bob. Always with the Bob.
Again, fixated on Bob.
And this was kind of a synthesis one as well. It uses the fishing rod and the bucket, but you can solve it with just the bucket if you just get yourself all the way over there instead of, repeated casting. Um, I really suck
Which
at
way
this.
did you do it on the speed run?
Water bucket is faster. And any dirt you can't reach, you can just throw the water in there and it'll just pull it out. I know a lot of people had trouble with that. Don't know why.
We do expect you to think in this game. I know it's
Yes,
surprising to some
yes.
people.
This is just a lot faster. Just jumping on a wooden plate, spitting out dirt.
That's originally how I thought you were supposed to do it, actually. It didn't occur to me to use the fishing rod. I suppose I'm not good at my own puzzles.
Now, originally, when these two rooms are both my rooms here, I think we stopped talking about who did
Hmm.
what room. You did the reactor room. I did the vent room. Um, but
You did
originally,
everything after the reactor room. Yeah.
okay. And then when I made these rooms, like again, I was really lazy with the external parts, but it became a problem here because there's holes that people can actually walk to. Actually, I think I still see one. I think they might be able to walk in that hole. Oh well,
Oh,
whatever.
surely I got rid of the last ones.
Shirley, but don't call me Shirley.
Surely. Ha 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 ha.
Alright, so let's just grab a schwack of these. Hello, come to me, my friends. Okay, let's keep 1099 there, but I'll move... I don't need a torch anymore, I don't think. Let's keep some of this. Got a lot of stuff. Okay. This was actually really hard to point people towards. Once they've exited and found outside, I think they went a little nuts from exuberance of breathing external air, or the vent, room drove them crazy. And they started just going everywhere. I know one guy, he went over to the wall and just climbed all the way to the top and just like, wee, I'm free. And we're like, how did you get there?
Apparently he
Eventually,
was a very determined climber.
apparently, or maybe he just took a lot of water buckets with him.
Originally, I solved this just with the water bucket. I was able to get close enough and jump,
Really?
and so I think we eventually made it to where you can't do that.
Yeah, we put the ladders. We put the ladders in to indicate that hey, maybe you should be going here, but you're supposed to be pillaring yourself up to do this. Let's try not to die here. I think the CubeTuber guy died here and then just almost wanted to give up. This room is full of bugs, and I'm determined to never fix it ever. But there's actually two ways you can get through this level. You can click onto the cart, which I'm never able to do, or you can just jump over here and punch the TNT. Those are two quick fixes. But the way you're supposed to do it is, actually we didn't even put the sign. There's supposed to be a sign here that says insert food cart or something like that. And there's supposed to be like a miniature testing chamber where they took the animals from the stables and they brought them here and to do some testings. And when they're done, they just killed the subject with the TNT. But this area is just full of bugs, and never been really inclined to come back here. I think we were pretty much done with this by the time we were at this point of the game.
Oh, and we'd had a couple weeks where we had all of the rooms built and in schematics, but it was just so we're both, I think, just so tired of building rooms and doing all of this that I think we almost just never finished it.
But the fans, they kept calling.
They did. Well, and I think both of us would have been really pissed at ourselves if we'd gone to all
Yeah.
that effort. We hadn't done the last bit of piecing it together. But these were some of the last rooms made, other than the 3D puzzle, which was made in response to testing and things just generally not working. These were the last, and I would say this next puzzle is the most difficult puzzle we have in the game.
It
You
was
have to light
hardest to plan. The next one here, the cloning room one, it was really, I had to do like 3 layers of wiring going back and forth because there was a lot of cross wiring.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
This airlock is actually badly designed. If you pulled it and it doesn't make it all across with your fishing rod, then you'd be stuck between 2 doors, stuck in the airlock. And it says, caution, please wear your biosuit in cloning chamber. Your insurance does not cover nudity. And I wanted another one here to say, if you don't have insurance, you can buy some from Bob. Yes, Bob.
Again,
He's
with the
got
Bob,
everything.
goodness sakes.
He's got everything. And I'll just cheat a little bit here just to go a little bit faster, since we're at this point of the game now. You're supposed to push the carts there, but you know, whatever. Oh, it didn't work there. That's what I get. That's what I get for aiming poorly.
Yeah, I was unable to figure out the solution to this puzzle until he showed me.
I love all the signs there, the little regulations and things. That's an excellent last second thing that we added in.
Yeah. My twisted sense of humor after solving this puzzle over and over and over again definitely benefited the game as a whole.
Now originally we wanted to, I wanted to when I built this room, was to put a frozen pig inside there, and you had to melt him out and then use him to get into the carts, but there were several problems with that. One being that we can't freeze a pig, and the other being that you might need more than one if you accidentally killed them.
Well, and more to the point, and this is something I realized in EC2 with Subject 1089, is that while you can use MCEdit and a lot of tools to place a pig or a creeper or any sort of mob wherever you want it to, it will despawn normally after about 5 minutes. And unless we've completely missed our guess on this game, you're not going to be able to make it to this point in 5 minutes. So that's why in EC2, Subject 1099 appears at the very beginning of the game. If you waited 5 minutes in the spawn room and came down, Subject 1089 wouldn't be there. And if you somehow figured out the means to not kill Subject 1089 and come back to that room, you'll notice that he's gone.
He's managed to escape that damn pig.
Hey, he is the smartest test subject, so...
Now, I just did the little run through. You actually can do that for some of the doors. For most of the other doors, I did put them further away so you can't actually run there. Summon chickens. Yes. Get in there. Oh, hey! I found something new. You can push the chicken into the cart instead of pushing the cart into the chicken.
You didn't know that?
I have been trying to push the cart into the kitchen for the longest time.
What's the number on those chickens? I haven't
4.
actually seen them yet. 4?
Get on the button, chicken. Guys, stop pushing him. He needs to stay here. Stand on the button. Stand on the button. Yes. And this little part here where you needed to build your own
I was
portal.
surprised how many people had problems with this section. Considering all of the other obnoxiously hard
Right,
problems that we had in
this
this
is in the
game.
game. They should be doing stuff like this in the game already.
Yeah, so if you didn't already know that you could build a portal that way, then consider this a favor to you that we've shown you how to do it. It will make your lives much easier in single player and multiplayer games.
All right, here we are, and this is the actual part where I wrote the story, but I blatantly plagiarized here.
Yeah, we did that a few places in the game as well, but yeah.
This is a totally original game, not a derivative of anything whatsoever. And because when people enter the Nether, this circuit doesn't always kick in right away, immediately. So it doesn't start blinking actually, which is kind of cool until people start reading it. By the time they get down there, then this circuit kicks in, and it starts blinking, and it starts freaking them out.
Yeah, we always love those little effects that make people think we are much cleverer than we actually are.
Yeah, and we have the self-destruct and the little spaceball reference. You ever watch Spaceballs?
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
well, you
course.
didn't watch Shawshank Redemption, so I'm like, I don't know what movies you watch.
Give me a break, man. I had a triple major. I missed a lot of things in that time.
Now, the interesting thing about this is also admin night, but since we're in the Nether, I didn't realize that MCEdit allows you to build in the Nether, so I actually came in here and built things by hand. And even though it looks kind of like cool with this block here and this block here, those are actually building mistakes that I just never went back to fix. And the
Yeah.
fact that this room is not perfectly symmetrical, and this little thing starts over here, is also another building mistake. I don't think anybody will notice, but oh, there you go, it starts blinking now.
Those are other reasons that the previous games used stone instead of adminium. It's because I made so much stuff by hand. You can't make mistakes with adminium. They last forever. And there is the villain in hell.
Yes.
A suitable little ending.
And people ask me if this goes anywhere. It does not. It'll probably lead you back to the cloning room, I think, because they're close enough that they would just connect to each other, I think. Who knows?
All right, let's go to the finale.
Oh, right. Now the finale, I mean, the finale consists of this part as well. It took me about 7 hours to build everything for the ending.
Yeah, I was very impressed with this when I saw it.
I was not
again,
impressed. I wanted it to be more epic. More explosions, more lava, more everything. But you get what you get, right?
Yeah. Again, this man is a genius with minecarts. So I don't know many other people in this game who could make something this complicated. So props to Murray for this.
All right, so yeah, I wanted a lot more stuff. I mean, it's a simple booster and it's a straight track. Some circuits linked to. So, I don't know. You can see the lava over there. Originally, what I wanted to do was have lava actually be there in your way, and then at one point the player triggers some sand that will block off the lava, and then the lava will clear just as you go underneath. But it doesn't work out that way. Lava is just way too slow, and sand is way too slow. All right, I'm just gonna hop on. So
And do you just have a
falling.
stone button under that, so it
Yep.
only activates when you set in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some explosions. There should be more explosions, I really think. But it's hard to time those explosions to happen just as you go through.
And not right before you go through, thus
Right.
killing you, which is rather disappointing.
And you can hardly hear the song. I don't know what's going on with that. But oh, finale. Explosive. And there's some cake for you. Let me light up that cake. There you go. And it's too bad you can't hear the song.
Well, anyway, guys, that's how we made EC3.
Yes. Oh, did you want to talk about our next project?
Oh, right. Well, I'll go ahead and let you start that off. How about?
Okay, well, I have nothing to actually show people.
We haven't started working on it. We are taking a break from making this game. It has strained our sanity and our marriages. So
Yes,
for our wives' sake, at the very least, we were going to take a few days off. But essentially, my idea after this, realizing just how low on ideas both of us were for creating more puzzles. We wanted to create a different sort of game for instead of making Escapecraft 4, another kind of escape room puzzle. We wanted to kind of go more back to Minecraft's roots, more of an open world adventure, but still one that had a plot in it. It was different than just vanilla Minecraft.
Right.
And so an idea I had was to uh, create the world as it would look uh, after the events of this game. Essentially, you've blown up Herobrine's facility, you've escaped, but of course, all of his little horrors have been released into the world, and so. Our idea for the next installment of this series is an open world adventure in which you find yourself in a city that's been destroyed by Herobrine's minions. And the dimensions for this, at least under our current design, will be a full kilometer square. So it will by far be the largest thing that we have ever created.
Basically,
In
what we wanted to
Minecraft.
do was make a giant city and just throw the people out there. And the city is basically a ghost town, and the player will get no wood, no tools, but they can scrounge whatever they can find in the houses to protect themselves at night. And instead of having a linear story where you had to go through room by room, we wanted to have kind of an objective-based game. Things like restore power to the subway line, make the long highway track to the local mall, and uh, get whatever you can on your person and take that back to your hideout back in the city. Different things. And I think what we'll be doing is we'll be focusing more this time on the multiplayer aspect, because this can be played with more people. And I think instead of sticking single player, we're going to be moving along and trying to remain ahead of the curve, really, in terms of what we're
Yeah,
doing.
definitely. Some of our ideas for this next one. You'll be coming into this ghost town. In addition to being no trees around town, there will be no grass. But through your involvement with the game, you'll actually be able to kind of just reinvigorate this city, and grass will begin to grow. The You'll have an opportunity to take the dry riverbed and actually make it a functional river again, restore power to the city. Something
Right.
that'll definitely be a lot quicker if you have if you're playing it on multiplayer, and but it'll be enjoyable whichever way you decide to play the experience. But of course, we will have elements of plot and ways for you to kind of uncover more details about the story that we've created in these first three games.
And now I
But
say we, but we are actually going to be reaching out to the community to help build the vast majority of the city. We'll lay down the roads ourselves and the subway system, and probably the objective buildings, but all the houses, all the skyscrapers will have community builders submit their schematics for different designs, and we'll just be throwing them into the plots as they come in. We'll be getting a lot of people helping us out. Of course, we'll have city building regulations, so that we'll have kind of defined look and size for everything as well.
yeah, a square kilometer, 1,000 blocks by 1,000 blocks. The floor of this thing will be 1,000,000 blocks. There's no way that two guys could populate the city with buildings and do all that needs to be done. So we will be relying very strongly upon all of our fans and other people in the community. If you wanted a chance to build a room or to build something for these previous games, uh, this next adventure, you're going to have that chance. So we're really excited about getting the chance to work with so many people from the community, and really getting a chance to let you see your work in front of people's screens. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this? Oh, we forgot to even talk about this last little part here. This is actually not the level you've been playing. This is actually a facade, a fake little thing that we built just for the ending.
Yeah, despite Murray's attempts to do otherwise, there isn't that much Lightstone in the original game. So, but no, we completely copied. Well, I guess you completely copied a pretty large chunk of the actual level and cloned it over here. If you were to head about 100 blocks behind Murray, climbing over everything, you'd eventually find the levels that you've been prowling through.
I don't think I can make it there, dude.
No, that's okay. And also, we should probably mention that we did not create these note blocks and
No,
the
I
nice little
asked
tune you
permission,
hear
and the
at the
guy was
end.
really nice to give this over, to let me use this as well.
Yeah, so this is yeah, that was an incredible gesture that he made, and you can find his name on the main post on the forums. So, all right, well, Murray, thanks for putting this together,
It's been a
and
pleasure,
again,
man.
absolutely, and to all our fans, we look forward to hearing more from you and to having your help on the next installment of this series. So,
Indeed. Do
thanks again for everyone's support, and thanks for all the donors who've provided the bandwidth that made it possible for everyone to play our game. So,
thanks a lot. I'll see you
all right.
guys on the flip side.